In this video, we'll talk about how to calculate a least squares regression line using the TI-83 or 84 graphing calculator. So the very first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure we have our data entered into the graphing calculator. To do that, we're going to press Stat, we're going to choose number 1, Edit, and press Enter. Now, I have the data already entered in. This is using the data set that's right above this video. So if you're following along and want to pause the video, take a second to enter this data. We're going to take the X values, plug those in for L1, and the Y values, we're going to plug those into L2. Once you've done that, we should be ready to go and calculate our regression line. So to do that, we're going to press Stat, and then we're going to arrow to the right so that we're under this calc menu. And then we're going to choose number 4, lin reg ax plus b. So that stands for linear regression ax plus b. So that's what we want. We want to make sure that our x list is set to L1 and our y list is set to L2. We can leave everything else blank. Nothing else really matters here. If you have an older graphing calculator, again, you're probably not seeing this menu. It's just saying lin reg ax plus b. You can just go ahead and press enter then. So if we press enter, we get all this cool information. So we get, here's the general form of the regression line, y equals ax plus b. Here's our a, it's 0.099, and here's our b, 160.194 if we round to 3 decimal places. You should also have r squared and r to give you the correlation coefficient. If not, you may need to take a second to turn the diagnostic on. I'll show you how to do that at the end of this video. But if I wanted to write the equation of the least squares regression line, I would just take my value for a, 0.099, plug that in for a. My value for b, 160.194, plug that in for b. Y and x will of course be our variables, and we'd have the equation of the line. The other thing that we can do with this is if you want to graph this with the scatter plot just to make sure it is in fact a good fit, if we press the y equals button up here in the upper left hand corner, and I'm going to type in the equation of that line. I'm going to round it to 3 decimal places so that it's not too unwieldy. So 0.099 times x. Now the one thing that's confusing about this is I'm not actually going to use the green x button down here. I'm going to use this xt theta n button. So I'm going to press x right here and then plus 160.194. And just to make sure that the viewing window is set appropriately, if I press zoom, I want to choose number 9, which is zoom stat. It should automatically set the viewing window to make sure it's going to show the scatter plot for me. So here's my scatter plot. Here's my regression line. It does in fact look like it's a good fit. So there's my equation of the regression line. If you wanted to calculate the correlation coefficient as well and it's not showing up for whatever reason, that means that your diagnostic is not turned on. Just as a friendly reminder at the end of this video, if you want to do that, if you press second and then the number 0, it'll take you to the catalog. So this has everything the calculator can do. We want to skip to the D section for diagnostic. So we're going to press x to the minus 1 because it has this little green D right here. So we'll press x to the minus 1 and then scroll down until we see an option that says diagnostic on. So it should be right here, diagnostic on. Once you found it, go ahead and press enter and then enter one more time. Again, if you're on your own graphing calculator, this is the only time you'll have to do this. Every time you use your graphing calculator from now on, it'll show you what R is. But if you're using the online graphing calculator or perhaps one that you checked out from a library or borrowed from a friend, this might not have been on. So you may need to do this, especially if you're using the online calculator, you will have to do that every time. So just to show you the steps one last time, if I press Stat and then hit the right arrow so that I'm under the calc menu and scroll down to number 4, lin reg ax plus b, X list we want to make sure is set to L1, Y list is set to L2. Scroll down, want to scroll down to calculate and then press enter. And it should show the equation of the regression line. We just need to plug A and B in for our variables.